Pen, paper, movie, check. Then comes one guy you must show respect. When he goes off you all better hit the deck, cause his reviews on YouTube is about to dissect. Oh, don't you know you ain't got a clue? Well in that case allow me to instruct all of you. Make sure you open your eyes and try to stay tuned, cause what you're about to see is a GC review.
Hey guys, I'm back with another review, once again with my nan.
Hello.
And today we're talking about the movie Ethel and Ernest. Ethel and Ernest is a 2016 animated movie. It's based on a comic book by Raymond Briggs, who's the guy who did the Snowman and stuff like that. Ethel and Ernest is the story of Raymond Briggs' parents. It starts with them getting married in the 20s and it ends in the 70s. What I think you were most impressed by in this movie was the depiction of World War II, right? Gas masks and bomb shelters and evacuation, stuff like that.
Yes, things that I lived through, and it's interesting to me anyway to go back over those years.
I liked how they slowly introduced elements of World War II at first. Now and again they'd be reading the newspaper and they'd be like, oh, that Hitler guy has written a book called Mein Kampf. And Ethel would be like, oh, that's nice. Or on the radio they'd be like, oh, the king is meeting up with Hitler, and she's like, oh, you mustn't be that bad. They had a very naive view of the war and what was going on, and then gradually it came to the forefront, and then it started to become a big deal because people are getting bombed nearby and they have to send the kid somewhere else. I liked how they slowly brought that into the movie. It was quite good.
It was quite a big thing at the time. The children had to go to different schools up north. And mother was upset about things. Hearing on the radio about the Blitz, it had a lot of background to that. Ernest didn't go with the soldiers. He stayed behind and was part of the fire brigade, putting fires out and over people's houses that they had evacuated from. Not a good time for people's feelings, I'm afraid.
Yeah, there's a part where he just breaks down as well.
Yeah.
He just he's a character that he's always laughing and joking, and there's one part Ethel walks in and he's just like, man, I saw some stuff. He just starts crying. It's really rough.
She put her hands round him and comforted him as much as she could.
Yeah, the movie does do a good job of balancing humor and dark stuff. Like I said, with the war stuff, I mean, there's jokes about Hitler. Like I said, it's not jokes, but it's light moments about Hitler. And there's other parts where you'll be laughing, and then it just sucker punches you with something, and it's man, that's dark. You really got me off guard.
Yeah.
It really is quite an emotional and moving movie, would you say?
Yes, I would.
I'll be honest, I cried at the end of this movie, and that's rare for me. I think the last time I cried at a movie was End of Watch, and that's a movie about two police officers, and I don't even really understand why I cried at that. But yeah, this movie just really hit me hard at the end. Maybe it reminded me of Granddad a bit, but I gotta say, any movie that can move me like that, I gotta give points to. Did you think it was quite emotional?
Very, but I was very pleased with the way you dealt with it and said things you would have curbed it to you normally and got on with it with yourself, but you let it go, and I think that did good to you.
Yeah, I guess it's good if a movie can get your emotions out. I was a big fan of the animation style of the movie, how it looked. I think they tried to replicate that kind of hand-drawn style that you'd get in Raymond Briggs' comic books, and it kind of looked like the Snowman type of style.
Yeah, I found it interesting, the young lad. I think he had a bit of his father in him, because he was cheerful and
yeah,
could see beyond whatever was going on that time, who was supposed to be, according to his mother, being taught at university to be a person in you know.
Art school.
Sorry?
He went to art school, is that what you mean?
Yes, but he went first of all to the
Grammar school.
grammar school. Then he went from there to
University.
University, and then to his mother's sadness, he gave that up to be somebody in the art range.
It was kind of funny how they were just like appalled when they found out he was going to art school. They're like, oh no, you know, he's not going to make any money, he's not going to be successful. And you know, the funny thing is that, you know, we know that he became a successful comic book writer.
Yeah.
Whose work has been like adapted into very famous films. So that's like kind of funny knowing that. But the voice acting is also really, really well done. Brenda Blethyn and Jim Broadbent do a great job. I'm a big fan of Jim Broadbent in particular. If you want to make a character in a movie likable, you know, for the most part, you can just cast him and he's going to be great. Like, he's got such a whimsical, lovable voice. Like, oh yes, oh. I think that's a good impression.
Oh, I'm bowled over.
So yeah, overall, do you recommend it? Did you like it?
Yeah, there's a lot in it. Look beyond the surface, and there's quite a lot in it, I think, anyway.
Because this is something that, like I said, it's based on a comic book, and it's animated. Those are two things you usually, like, turn your nose up to, if you're honest, right?
Yes.
Like, you know, I did my dissertation about graphic novels, and you're like, I don't know about that. I'm always watching The Simpsons, and you're like, cartoons. This is a cartoon based on a comic book, and you loved it.
Yeah.
So that's saying something. Overall, I was really impressed with the movie too. I liked it quite a lot. I don't really have anything even negative to say about it, like on the downside. In a way, I would say the movie is a bit like if you took the first 5 minutes up and you made it into a whole movie, but it's still good. I really connected to the characters. I felt quite attached to them. I highly recommend it as well. I think it's one of the best animated films I've seen this year. And by the way, it really sucks that it's not getting any, like, award love. You know, like Golden Globes didn't nominate it for anything. That's kind of... Okay, I mean, it's a relatively obscure English film. But the BAFTAs didn't give it anything either. I mean, those are English awards, British awards. You'd think it would... I mean, the movie Finding Dory is up for a BAFTA, and that wasn't even that good in comparison to this. So yeah, those are our thoughts, and thanks for watching, guys.